How's it going? I'm going to answer some more questions because it's Friday. I'm going to start off with one I really don't want to answer because I think the subject's annoying, but I might as well do a video on it. So every time people complain about it, I can just refer to this. What do I think of equipment in Strongman? This question was phrased in the usual way it always is I think true strength should be no knee wraps, no belt, no deadlift suit, blah, 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 blah. You should be lifting naked and only at zero elevation and whatever the hell else people go on and on and on about. And this is something I've dealt with over the years of being particularly good at the car deadlift and always wearing a deadlift suit. Because guess what? It was allowed. And then someone who is not so particularly good at the car deadlift would go, oh, well, if I wanted to spend that $150 on a deadlift suit, first off, mine was free because I'm handsome. Second off, that's not why you zeroed and I got 15 to 30 reps. It's because I practice the event, I know what I'm doing, and in that particular movement I'm stronger. It could be the difference between 1 or 2 reps, but it's not the difference between 15 plus and 0. This past year at Nationals, they at the rules meeting, of course, so everyone had their deadlift suits nice and packed. They said, hey, guess what? No deadlift suits. So all the people that are against it, I guess you get your wish, because it seems like that's the norm now, is they don't want deadlift suits. So I don't really care. If that's the rules, that's how I'd lift. And the way I see it is, if the rules allow it, I'm going to use it. Part of sport is finding any advantage you can. But people overplay these advantages. Like, it never made me win nationals. I'm sure someone who, if I can recall, some of the people that won nationals were not wearing deadlift suits. So, what are you going to do? Anyways, the point is, first I want to get back at this last year at nationals. I'm only going to talk about the lightweight class, the 175 class, because that's what I compete in, so that's what I know the best. Is 4 people tied with 20 reps, and they had to dead stop each rep. The year before, I got second. I think I got like 15 or 16, and Sean Neville's a crazy bastard, got like 2 or 3 more than me and got first in the car deadlift. So it was like, I might have got 13 and he got 16. I don't really remember. There's video on YouTube of it if I need to recall it, and that was touch and go. So, and, over a quarter of the field zeroed. I would rather it be heavy and be challenging like that and allow deadlift suits than it to be too light where 4 people tie with 20 reps where they're getting up and down commands. That means you can't really do too many more than that in that time. You're doing a rep every 3 seconds, unless my math's off, because who knows, but anyways, I think people overplay the importance of stuff like that, knee wraps. Like, people get on and on about if you're wearing wrist wraps, even like pros do, and it's like, well, then you see when they go to a contest, they do it. Like, I'm gonna use whatever I can that helps me lift the most, but the thing is, you don't need any of that shit. Like, Zach McCarley won year after year after year. He won like 4 straight national titles or something, and it looks like he had like a 6-year-old pair of basketball shorts on and chucks that are splitting at the seams. So trust me, the reason why that person won and you didn't wasn't from a piece of equipment. It helps, but it's not the difference. And I know Thor used on the squat and Worlds in 2014, they said he wasn't wearing a squat suit. Whoa, and then everyone's like, oh, well, why wasn't he wearing a squat suit? Blah, blah, blah. And, he would have won World's Strongest Man if he wore a suit. Well, this year he wore a suit and he still didn't win. Maybe he I'm sure in training he tried a squat suit and it wasn't as comfortable for him. You notice the Journist doesn't use a deadlift suit because it's not as it doesn't lift as much in one. It can help, but it also doesn't mean it will. And some stuff like elbow sleeves and knee sleeves and stuff like that, it can help like a little bit, but it's not the difference. And if you're just going to focus on that one little thing and you're going to say like this isn't true strength or something, like who gives a shit? Just like you're already giving yourself an excuse of why you failed. My issue isn't with the gear, it's with the mindset of the people that go on and on about crap like that. What, you think we shouldn't use tacky either? I know some promoters, they go on and on about, oh, stone sleeves are cheating. So it's like a strip of leather. Like, where do you draw the line? There has to be a line somewhere. It's just, I think, yeah, there should be a limit to what you use, but Strongman's a dynamic sport, and if you're wearing straps or a deadlift suit or you have tacky or stone sleeves, like, none of that stuff, or, knee sleeves, none of that stuff's going to matter when you're trying to sprint with 800 plus pounds on your back. So it's not going to have as big of an impact, and it's not going to make Strongman turn into, multiply powerlifting. And as long as the lifts are still done within the context of the rules and they don't they're making sure that you've still locked out or, an equivalent of hit depth, like who really cares? My problem is the mindset of the type of person that complains about all that stuff. You're setting yourself up to be a loser. And especially if you're starting out, on the same thing, you shouldn't go on, like, you shouldn't, like, start Strongman and then look like you're ready to go scuba diving the next month because you're heel to toe in SBD sleeves or Rebound or Hyperforce or whatever. And all those are great products, but I think, like, people are like, oh, I love this sport and I'm going to get into it, and then they have $1,000 invested in gear, in all this different sleeves and straps and suits and tacky and crap, and then they'll say that hiring a nutritionist is too expensive. You're going to be well better off and when you're starting, to go and spend the money at a legit gym or hire an actual coach or nutritionist to help you out and go along than you would have spending $1,000 or $500 or whatever, crap on and gear. And the same people that are saying, like, that go to nationals and say they don't buy a suit because it's too expensive. Trust me, I went to nationals. There's nothing cheap about doing that trip. If you're in this hobby, then you're already crazy and a little dumb to spend all this money traveling to shitty locations to pay and go into debt to hurt your body and compete in all this stuff. So that's not the reason why you're not buying a deadlift suit anyway. So the thing is, don't make excuses, okay?